What's up, guys? It is Thursday, December 15th. It's 9:40 a.m. and this is the crypto newsletter. So starting off with some kind of out of nowhere news from Trump. I think this was an hour ago. So Trump shares bizarre video teasing major announcement. America needs a superhero, former president says in video before image shows him with lasers coming from his eyes. Let's take a look at that real quick.
A superhero.
So who knows what that's going to be about, but I'm sure we're going to hear about it pretty soon here. We're going to have to keep that on our radar. Then we got this. So I was thinking I was going to pre-order one of these Ledger stacks, and I'm going to have, before I do, I'm going to have Alan take a look at the security around it, the chip and everything like that. And I'll make sure that we do a video for that because first off, I mean, it looks sick. It's like an iPod. It's pretty sick. And it seems very mainstream friendly. If we were to say a lot of people getting this, it's simple to them. It's comfortable to them because it kind of is similar to like an iPhone or an iPod. And it's way better than clicking the buttons back and forth. It's way more user friendly and the design looks sick. So I'm going to have them look at, but that's all good and all, but we need to make sure at the end of the day that the security around it's good. So I'll have Alan dive into that and then I'll let you guys know. We'll do a video on it and then I will pre-order it for myself. I'll do like a tutorial, a review on it. And then you guys can decide if you want to get one as well too. But I love the look of it. It looks pretty sick here. So let's dive into this. So the pre-allocation theory has been kind of put back on the table here. Let me pull it up. So this was, I think we had mentioned it before on the channel. There's a lot of like rumors or kind of just speculation that the XRP that Ripple holds in escrow is actually pre-allocated to central banks across the world based off of their GDP, kind of like the IMF SDR. And then once there's going to be an announcement and then that XRP that's locked up with Ripple's escrow will be allocated and dispersed across the world to all these different central banks based on the country's GDP. Supposedly, during the summary judgment revealed that the escrow is allocated while everyone else jumped on board years later. Few accounts have known since 2018. Statistical probability never lies. And then you have this. So on the top here, it's one of those riddlers, Ripple Riddler. I remember first seeing that video back in 2018. It's very interesting, but this topped it off. If XRP is successful for any reason, this is CTO of Ripple, Ripple can make a lot of money for its stockholders by selling its XRP. The same is true of every other XRP holder. That's just a fact. I'm not saying that will happen, but it could happen. So there we go. And then in that Ripple Riddler video, you have like somebody handing off the XRP right here. So it was kind of speculated back then. So let's keep going because I didn't come across the document that kind of I was trying to find it, but somebody may have to add the link to the comment here to let me know where it is. I couldn't find the actual document in the summary judgment that had kind of spelled this out, but very interesting to see. Then we got a huge update from Uphold. XLM is now a tier 3 asset. And that means you can buy, hold, sell, deposit, withdraw, and send from into the Stellar network. That was one pain was that Stellar, you couldn't withdraw from there or deposit onto there, but now you can. And also too, that 65-day cooldown period for where you couldn't withdraw your assets is now gone and it's only 4 days. So for new ACH deposits, it's now 4 days. Solid, very solid. Now let's keep going because huge news out of Stellar today. UNHCR launches pilot cash-based intervention using blockchain technology for humanitarian payments to people displaced and impacted by the war in Ukraine. UNHCR has launched a first of its kind integrated blockchain payment solution powered by the Stellar network to reach people in need with speed, agility, and accountability. To me, this smells very much like United Nations, World Bank, just international type of institution type talk, where the World Bank provides like that relief, that support to countries in need. So this seems like it's on par with that. UNHCR, the UN Refugee Agency, and the Stellar Development Foundation, the nonprofit that supports the growth and development of the Stellar blockchain network, announced today the launch of a pilot, first of its kind blockchain payment solution for digital cash distribution to internally displaced persons and other war-affected people in Ukraine. To me, this kind of sounds like it's setting up for like a UBI, Universal Basic Income system. So in collaboration with the United Nations International Computing Center, the UN's technology solution provider are among the first to pilot the new Stellar-based aid disbursement solution, which ensures the delivery of cash assistance directly into the hands of those being assisted quickly, efficiently, and securely, with full value transfer traceability and accountability. The pilot phase of the project is designed specifically for Ukraine, but can be adapted worldwide. There we go. Stellar, man. Cooking up behind the scenes, I see. UNHCR confirms eligibility and distributes assistance in Circle Internet Financial USD coin, a stable coin where one USDC is equal to $1, and they can download it onto their smartphone, the digital wallet Vibrant. This provides a secure place to hold and transport funds in USDC, a stable store of value, allowing people to travel within the country or cross borders without the need to carry cash. And MoneyGram's on par with that. So when recipients choose to convert to cash, whether it is dollars, euros, or local currency, they can withdraw their funds at any global MoneyGram location, including over 4,500 MoneyGram locations in Ukraine. The program is being piloted in those Ukrainian cities and will expand to other towns and cities in Ukraine. The money will provide humanitarian assistance to some of the people most impacted and vulnerable due to the war, to help them cover basic needs like rent of accommodation, food, medical care, heating during the winter. The solution has been extensively tested over the last 6 months, and it is expected to be expanded to reach more war-affected people inside Ukraine, as well as refugees from Ukraine in early 2023. So let's keep going down. Ukraine is a global lead in the development of technical solutions to increase access to social protection, including assistance for displaced people. Across the world, UNHCR has been collaborating for years with the tech sector, which has played a crucial role in helping us to innovate to deliver assistance faster, as speed is of the essence in humanitarian action. It's also essential to provide people with a range of options for receiving aid, as one size do not fit all. Programs need to be designed with the people they are meant to serve at the center. I'm very pleased that UNHCR and the SDF, Stellar Development Foundation, have chosen Ukraine for this launch, and look forward to expanding it beyond this pilot, and so it can benefit many thousands more people in need of assistance as a result of the war. Stellar and the United Nations heavily tied up, same with Ripple. SDF, together with UNHCR, is realizing the promise of blockchain and pioneering a new future of the delivery of billions of dollars in aid dispersed annually. Using Stellar, we are helping get funds into the hands of those who need them, and doing it quickly, transparently, and without the need for bank accounts or credit or debit cards. We're proud to work with UNHCR to deploy blockchain innovations that will play a role in assisting those in crisis. Today, we can see how blockchain technology allows us to scale humanitarian efforts in a way that wasn't possible before. For fleeing Ukrainians, and primarily those who are unbanked, the pilot project provided humanitarian assistance using a digital wallet and will serve as a possible lifeline for survival. The project itself is a vivid example of how blockchain has the potential to transform and revolutionize the way humanitarian funds are allocated. The use of blockchain technology allows humanitarian organizations such as UNHCR to be more transparent, accountable, and ensure that most vulnerable people have access to funds provided in their name. There we go. The Ministry of Digital Transformation of Ukraine is grateful to the Stellar Development Foundation and the UNHCR for standing with the people of Ukraine and doing that in such an efficient and modern way. There we go. So flow of funds overview, digital dollars issued by Circle on the Stellar network, digital dollars distributed to approved recipients on Stellar, aid recipients receive funds in digital wallet instantly, cash out funds when needed at MoneyGram locations, and recipients have local currency to spend. And that's how it's going to go. Big, big, big. Found in 2014. They stood the test of time, and Stellar and Ripple heavily tied up. So now let's go to this. On-demand liquidity for corporate enterprises, treasury management. This is from Ripple yesterday. So no one understands the implications of globalization better than corporate treasury management teams that manage internal capital flows across borders. Think Amazon, think Uber, right? Corporate treasury operations help ensure funds flow smoothly and on time through an organization in sync with business needs and economic environments. Like a fleet manager at an airline responsible for aircraft optimization and uptime, it guarantees money is in the right place at the right time to fund obligations and maximize opportunities. Talk about a headache. Imagine having to manually manage that. Talk about a headache. It's one of those things that, just like with Uber, it's kind of like the best ideas are the most obvious in hindsight, or most kind of like given, like, duh, like why wasn't that a thing? Like, why couldn't I order delivery from any restaurant straight from my phone, or a ride, right? Like a taxi, just like this. I mean, why is it that all these things need to be manual processes, where it just makes sense? The whole Ripple sales pitch and XRP sales pitch. So cross-border treasury management challenges for multinationals that operate across borders. Treasury management takes on exponential importance and complexity. Consider the challenges faced by a hypothetical mid-sized pharmaceutical company with research and development labs in the United States, production facilities in Mexico, and sales, marketing, distribution operations across multiple continents, or an Italian luxury goods retailer that sells its product throughout Europe, the US, and Japan. The responsibility of running an efficient global business is treasury management. So it goes into it and talks about how Apple's on-demand liquidity payment solution eliminates these challenges, enabling just-in-time treasury operations. That on-demand liquidity with real-time global settlement, on-demand liquidity closes transactions in fractions of a second, while dramatically reducing both costs and the need to pre-fund foreign destination accounts. Increased transparency is also a key benefit for corporations and their customers. Talks about how ODL also offers superior liquidity for cross-border payments, including complex corridors, by virtue of its strong global payments network and ability to use XRP as a neutral bridge for various fiat currency pairs. Ultimately, corporate treasury teams can leverage crypto solutions for businesses like ODL and to improve cash flow planning, enhance commercial terms, and help suppliers factor the receivables. So then it goes into how they offer the line of credit, and then also the future of treasury management. For companies seeking simpler, more optimized treasury operations, ODL offers superior liquidity, faster, more affordable settlement with reduced pre-funding and access to value-added services like a line of credit. The resulting speed, savings, and flexibility prime treasury teams to maximize the power of their capital while still meeting all their core business requirements, all while making it easier for the business to expand into new markets. There we go. Now let's go into this. So Zum Wallet, Zum Pro now. It's in a beta version. Users can opt in for early access. Those who did not receive a message, those who did will receive a message in a few weeks to start testing it. I wonder how you can request access to that, because I would love to test that out. Opt in for early access. So maybe right on the app, you can opt in. I'll have to look into that after. So then we have this. We got Binance net withdrawals topped over 3.6 billion over the last 7 days. Pretty big. That's a lot of money flowing out of Binance. And there's a couple things that I'm looking at as far as being on edge with Binance. Let me go to it right here. So CZ has been playing with fire in the US establishment. Binance and CZ are targets now, and I believe the same. Anyone who thinks that CZ can wipe out the second biggest donor of the Democratic Party without consequences wrong. I'm sure there will be indictments next year. Pull out of Binance. I absolutely agree with that. It just makes sense. The narrative is being built there as well. And then we have this. G20 looks to develop a global crypto policy consensus. This was this morning. G20 economic leaders aim to develop an agreement on policy for crypto assets to inform global regulation at a meeting with finance and central bank deputies in Bangalore, India. So we've been saying this ever since it was kind of floated out. Representatives at the G20 are looking to develop a streamlined policy agreement for crypto assets to inform global regulation. One of the priorities which have been put on the table is to help countries build a consensus for policy approach to the crypto assets. The G20 is holding its first central bank deputies meeting this week in Bangalore. India took up the presidency of the G20 at the start of December for a one-year term, taking it from Indonesia. To inform the consensus on crypto regulation, Seth added that monetary policy, the banking sector, and implication of crypto on the economy need to be studied. This is not the only global organization stepping up its work on crypto. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development released a report calling urgent policy action on crypto assets yesterday. The collapse of FTX crypto exchange has spurred urgency in regulators around the world to regulate the crypto sector following what has been dubbed one of the biggest frauds in American history, and it makes sense that narrative is playing out. Then we got this right here. Got change, why digital cash needs to feel real. 5 years ago, central bank digital currencies were a curiosity. Now they're a fad. More than 40 economies are running pilots or are in the pre-trial development phase, in addition to the 11 already using them. With rising interest previously unasked questions about these new age payment tools are starting to emerge. Some sound deceptively easy, but getting the answers right could be crucial. Talks about it all, the Royal Bank of India. And we can skip through the rest of that. So Stellar blockchain technology powers International Rescue Committee's cash-based humanitarian assistance for conflict-affected people in Ukraine. We just read through that. Then we have why central banks are stockpiling gold. In 1968, the London bullion market closed for 2 weeks. The world's largest precious metal market had run out of gold, drained by a 5-month run on America's stash by European central banks. The crisis marked the beginning of the end for the Bretton Woods standard that had kept the dollar pegged to gold and currencies elsewhere to the dollar since 1944. It's funny how this is getting floated out this December, about like 14 days ago, because I believe we're in that exact same moment, because we're seeing the Moscow World Standard. We're seeing how blockchain is going to play a role in the traceability and the authenticity of gold as well too, tokenizing it. So it's all these things are adding up for the grand finale. Then we have this R3 in this QuarterCon 2022 clip. This lady speaks about the DTC's Project Ion, alternative settlement platform powered by Corda. Michelle explains how the platform is running in production parallel with DTC's classic systems. Watch the full video. Let's see this clip.
Could you tell us a little more about Project Ion, which you mentioned? What is it? What triggered it? I'm very interested.
Okay. This is one near and dear to my heart. This is one that we just launched into production in the last month or so. And it is, I think, a really exciting step forward that R3 and ourselves are taking a partnership moving forward together. Basically, in a nutshell, it's supporting re-representation and digital settlement of existing asset classes. So we are operating in a production parallel, and I have to emphasize this fact. It is a production parallel because our classic systems, which is our legacy systems, we like to give them sort of a more noteworthy sort of way of calling them. We like to appreciate them. So we call them our classic systems, like classic cars. But anyway, we do have our classic systems remaining the authoritative record, and they are responsible for the actual movement of securities and cash. However, I think what's really profoundly important about this first project is this parallel books and records that we're creating really are doing things like proving out the technology in a way that the industry needs to take. So it is a first step forward. We deliberately are choosing a subset of DTC asset classes. So it's day deliver orders in equities. But we are processing some fairly sizable and impressive volumes. David Rudder this morning was quoting us as having, about 100,000 transactions processing on a daily basis. We've seen peaks of 160,000. So from our perspective, what that's then shown is that the technology itself is able to support some decent volume. And, eventually we'll get on 4 to 5, and then we're looking to blow it out to sort of full DTC universe potentially.
There we go. So once these things merge, it's going to be huge, and we're going to see the real value of these networks.
So we'll get on 4 to 5, and then we're looking to blow it out to sort of full DTC universe potentially.
There we go. There we go. All right. So now let's keep going. Citi says crypto market leverage, open interests are historically low. And let's see if that has any, no, it has nothing. Leverage, volatility, interests have faded as investors battle with declining prices. Usually when that stuff fades, though, that's usually when we see a market bottom come in, because people at that point are just totally wiped or scared to even get involved with that stuff. So that, I would say, that's a good sign. Then let's go to this. Macroeconomic impacts of the Royal Bank of India, CBDC, and its use cases is priority, needs discussion. Let's go down. So the G20 Finance Central Bank Deputies meeting under the Indian presidency was held in Bangalore during the 13th and 14th of December under the co-chairship of Secretary of Economic Affairs. The meeting saw a gathering over 160 foreign delegates, including deputies from G20 member countries, invitee countries, and international organizations. The meeting was conducted with the aim of seeking the views of G20 members on India's G20 finance track priorities for 2023 across various work streams. Talking about multilateral development banks, managing global debt vulnerabilities, financing, climate action, sustainable development goals, building resilient, inclusive, sustainable cities of tomorrow, all the fourth industrial revolution stuff. global public goods. Seth said that the discussion was divided into 7 sessions, which included talks on sustainable finance, global public goods, multilateral development banks, international taxation, and crypto assets. And that's funny because I had done a video about 4 weeks ago called XRP, a global public good. Interledger protocol is the backbone of the Internet of Value. Dots are there. And it's basically what Interledger is. It's a global public good. It's like the underlying infrastructure of the internet, same thing as Interledger is. And those are global public goods, the internet, as well as Interledger, I believe, is going to be as well too. And you can see that that's what they're discussing, global public goods. They're discussing multilateral development banks, sustainable finance, crypto assets, all our keywords and buzzwords. And then if we go to this video by Darren Moore, what we need is a neutral public good that can't be influenced or threatened. SWIFT has been taken over by the US. Protocols are not people. They can't be threatened. All they know is code. Let's hear this.
And if they did, it's a cooperative, but it's owned by banks, and it's established in Brussels. It works under European Union regulation. Its information is exclusively shared with the United States. Okay, so it's clearly what you would call a digital colonialism institution, and with an additional level, which is that there's a money issue involved. Okay, now SWIFT used to be known before 2011 approximately as a neutral global public good, right? It was almost as good as the International Postal Service, right? So you would just send an email or send a letter and it would get there, right? It was an international protocol for sending information, just like email. Now, it's starting with the US influence over the European Union. SWIFT was threatened to be sanctioned if they didn't pull out Iran from the SWIFT system, and that's how it started. And most recently, to the Ukraine war against several institutions of the Russian Federation. But that's probably going to increase, not decrease, right? So they were weaponizing a global public good against different or specific entities when they were supposed to be a neutral institution. So what we need is a resilient design that allows for a international, a true global public good that can be governed, for example, in a multi-stakeholder framework, hopefully within the auspices of the United Nations, that can guarantee this neutrality, just like the International Postal Union, okay, which guarantees that if you send a letter, even in the countries that are at war between each other, that protocol, physical protocol of sending a letter and arriving to the other place will occur. That is an issue more of politics than technology, but we can design in this international, truly existing framework of technology, the protocols for that to happen as well.
So I believe that what they're talking about, true public good, Interledger protocol, definitely watch this video, XRP, a global public good, Interledger. I'll link the video in the description in this one. So, and also if you haven't already, click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell, get updated in real time. We're putting out like 3 to 5 videos a day, all juicy stuff. So you want to do that. But I'll put the link in the bio for this in the description here. So let's keep going now and keep reading this. All right, so then it keeps going. It's saying lots of views on crypto assets were expressed. Different countries have taken different approaches as these are borderless assets and borderless technology. Discussions are on how to build consensus for better understanding and better regulation around this asset. It goes into one of the priorities is put on the table is to help countries build a consensus for a policy approach to the crypto assets. Goes through it all. So this is all stuff we already know. Let us keep going. So nothing else there, but there is. So this is definitely a date to take note of for 2023, February 23rd to February 25th. You have the first meeting, the first G20 finance ministers and central bank governors meeting, which will be held then in Bangalore. So there we go. So you know that Stellar likes to keep quiet while strings are being pulled in the background. For Stellar to say something big is coming, something big must be coming. Live tomorrow at 2 p.m. They said this on, I think, LinkedIn. Join SDF CEO UNHCR. So we already seen the news. Basically, it was that relief support fund in partnership with the United Nations, MoneyGram, and USDC. So they'll probably just keep talking on that for this. So we got the news. Then Swift Institute, this paper examines the market landscape for digital assets, including digitally recorded traditional securities and cryptographically secured tokens representing the building blocks of the future of tokenized economy. I'm going to click that and we'll keep going into this real quick. When implementing the XD-based digital gold standard, the price of one XD coin is estimated to be $100 based on gold reserves owned by central banks of each country. Please refer to it. Comtech Gold, built on XCC, owned by you. The Comtech Gold system is built on the XCC network. XCC is the world's first hybrid blockchain that connects both public, state, and private subnetworks. This protects our data while remaining transparent and audible. XCC's goal is to help enterprises enhance their business infrastructure, reduce costs, and improve visibility. With interoperable smart contracts, near zero fee transactions, and high security, the XCC network is designed to support a wide range of novel blockchain use cases. Experience the magic of digital gold. One CGO represents 1 pure gram of gold, fully backed, redeemable, and regulated. The tools for CGO held in XCC wallets. Enter your XCC address to look up the serial number and information for your gold. That's very cool. Very cool. Here's why so many central banks are buying gold. This was November 10th, 2022 as well. So let's keep going. We have Stellar. Stellar, big news today, was built specifically for use cases like this. Tokenization is built in at the protocol level, making it cheaper than other layer ones and giving issuers safety guarantees and control mechanics they don't get elsewhere. So Wisdom Tree's latest blockchain-enabled funds to use Ethereum Stellar. The asset manager's 9 newest digital funds are slated to debut on the Wisdom Tree's Prime app next quarter. The SEC has okayed 9 more Wisdom Tree blockchain-enabled funds as the asset manager gets set to roll them out on its mobile app in the coming months. Quarter one's going to be huge as far as adoption and just things going live. Wisdom Tree's funds are the latest step forward towards the asset manager's goal to bring fixed income, equities, and commodities into the digital world through funds and tokenized exposures. So I did see that Wisdom Tree is going to be offering, I think, through their blockchain-enabled app or their app that they're going to be releasing, tokenized gold as well too. So that's very interesting. So we have here, we believe that blockchain enabled finance has the potential to improve the investor experience through enhanced liquidity, transparency, and standardization, which we aim to achieve over time. And these 9 digital funds are setting up the foundation as we seek to bridge the gap between traditional finance and digital finance today. And we have Ethereum and Stellar initially here. So I wonder what else they're going to be launching as well too. We'll have to see. Then we have this. Flare token airdrop, 38 exchanges supporting it for January 9, 2023. It's going down. It's finally here. And Uphold supporting it, Coinbase supporting it, Binance is supporting it. So all the main exchanges. So January 9th, mark your calendars. It's on. Then we have this. CZ's private chats with SBF indicate that he has very real concern about the depegging of Tether. When they were all still buddies, CZ tried to convince SBF not to short Tether. Unfortunately, he won't be able to stop Vertree and other traditional hedge funds from doing it. Very true. And I believe that Justin Sun is tied up with that, with Tether and Binance. Like it's like a triad right there. Binance, BNB Coin, Tron with Justin Sun, and then Tether as well too. And you can see, where is it at? Yeah, so you can see a couple things are coming to light here. So we have this. You hearing this? Alameda was USDT Tether's biggest client. Let's hear it.
Well, sure. So Alameda is Tether's biggest client. That's according to reporting from Protos from last year. Supposedly, Alameda purchased, I believe, $36.7 billion worth of Tethers. Given Alameda FTX's insolvency, I think one question might be, where'd the money come from? Well,
Very
sure. So Alameda
right?
is Tether's
could have
biggest.
that spillover effect. Could have that spillover effect, right? Then we have this. Follow the blue indicator line. XRP whale addresses supply went from 16.7% to 18.3% in 5 weeks. We're seeing the big money piling up in XRP. So that's always good news. Then we have Swift. So how far can we go in eliminating friction from post-trade settlement? The answer depends on fresh thinking and industry-wide collaboration, explains Vikesh Patel, Swift's head of security strategy, in the third and final article in our series. I'm going to save this because I'm going to cover ISO today. I'll save going into this article for that. But very urgent. update your software on your iPhones, iPads, etc. There's another 0-day vulnerability. You want to make sure that's getting patched. Huge news here. Energy Web token is now a part of the Hyperledger Foundation to accelerate Web3 interoperability. Like when a coin gets tied up with Hyperledger Foundation, you know they've secured their spot at the table. There's only maybe like 5 to 7 on Hyperledger Foundation's website as far as who's a part of their consortium and the foundation. And now that Energy Web's there, it just really seals the deal for me even further that Energy Web is here to stay. And it's such a good play. I mean, like there's only 11 million like Energy Web token in max supply. It's like half of that of Bitcoins. And it's actually solving the biggest, it has the solution to the biggest problem that Bitcoin has, which is the energy usage and the waste, right? So very big. Then we have Algorand rises after Italy selects blockchain protocol for digital guarantees platform. The new platform is expected to become operational early 2023, first quarter. First quarter, we're going off. Blockchain protocol Algorand was up 3% on Tuesday as the Layer 1 technology was selected to be the blockchain to support a digital guarantees platform in Italy to demonstrate how bank and insurance guarantees can be issued on blockchains. And they're doing it on Algorand early 2023. It'll be the first time a European Union member state enables the use of blockchain technology for bank and insurance guarantees. Huge. We selected Algorand because of its unparalleled level of innovation and security among permissionless distributed ledger technologies, as well as because of its leadership and sustainability. It's important, sustainability, man. So that's why Energy Web is a good play as well, too. And obviously XRP. Algorand, okay. So then we have this. Red Cross warned an enormous level of suffering awaits the world in 2023. We are headed into some dark times, but if you're planning ahead, if you're seeing what's going on, you can take a step back, look at the whole macro picture here and understand the opportunity that we have and that you have. If you're watching this video right now, you're in the right spot. You're going to set yourself up and your family and people that you care about by being in digital assets, the right ones, to avoid any enormous suffering, because many people don't invest at all, let alone want to get into crypto. But when all this unfolds, crypto is going to be the savior of the day. So, and that's it, guys. That's it for the newsletter. I will see you in the deep dive.